I've always been a unique person, you know what I mean? Sort of laid back in a way, but very adamant and very passionate about what I believe. I think a lot of times that sort of throws people off because they don't expect me to have the mindset or the process of thought that I do. And so when you come in to watch my channel, you may hear a myriad of thoughts and ideas that could be different from others. What I want you to do is just sit back, like, share, and subscribe. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah, everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Black eye perspective.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. It is February the 26th. It is Friday. I hope that everybody is having a good day, and I hope that your week has been absolutely astounding. So I just wanted to say, afternoon. How are you? How are things going? What's going on? Valiant one, you win again. You're always like right there first. So hello to you, and hello to the 5 that are in chat that have not peeked in. Well, I guess that would be 4 now because Anarchy Television has just pulled up those, looks like Power Puffs. What are those? Coffee cup, cigarette, snort, and then 3 little puffs. And then, you know what? This is the business. This is the business. Yeah, there you go. And there is Freya Day. Yeah, Running Man. Hey, how's it going? You know, you guys, I was doing a little bit of studying, and then I thought, gee whiz, the stuff's getting so juicy. I may want to just go on ahead and start to talk to you all and tell you some of the stuff that I'm coming up with as I'm coming up with it. Studying over in Genesis, looking a little bit. Hello there, Wake Up Call Gaming. What's going on there, Gerald? Hello, Felicia. Happy Friday to everyone. Hello to you too. Hello to you too. So I was digging around in Genesis 4, digging around in Genesis 3. Now I'm over here in Genesis 5. 3:15 is pretty unique. So you know what I was doing as I was studying, and like I said, thought I'd just bring you guys in on it. I'm doing something. Follow me with this because there's something to it. And I know there's been a lot of people who've disputed it. And here's the deal. I'm not here to dispute what I'm about to share with you, or I'm not here to say with all surety that what I'm about to say is it. So here's where we are. I'm doing this on the Angry X. So X could be, let's look. Have you ever had an Angry X? First off, let's just start there, because if you can't relate to what I'm sharing, maybe we need to just double on back, sips coffee, and wait. So if you've never had an angry ex, then you don't know about how jealous they can be, how vindictive they can be, how destructive they can be, how manipulating they can be, and all bundled up together with narcissism and gaslighting. You may not know, but that's what they are. And then, so I'm going to call that X. So for example, say you used to be out in the world, right? So that X, that can be Satan. But he acts a whole lot like your real ex, right? Yeah, you know what I mean. And then let's look at Eve. Now, you guys, I'm sorry. I just gotta, I don't know. You're gonna have to look at some stuff. It's a few key points. I'm gonna be all over the place, but that's all right because, well, it's Friday and I can do that. And I'm a girl. You know how we are. So Eve had a few points about her. And the purpose for me doing it, pulling both of them up today, was I wanted to understand why the choice of words were given. When our father found both she and her husband covered from the waist down. Yeah, I just wanted to know. I was like, why would he say to her that in childbearing now you're going to have pain? Why was that? I mean, frankly, as a woman who's had 4 children, I wish he had left that part out. But okay, no problem. He didn't. That part I queried. Then I also queried the piece where he tells them about the enmity that's going to be between her seed and the seed of the serpent. Well, I wish Ronnie Mann could give me the meaning of the serpent in that particular passage. What was, he loves to break it down. He'll take that Hebrew and after he's done, stomp, 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 stomp. He gets together what I call Hebrew dust. He'll take it and just drop it. He'll just grind it all together. Now, that's the word. Came from here, started over there, ended up over there. Then these people took it, they flipped it, they scripted it, they chopped and screwed it, and then they threw it in the middle of the bullpen. That's how you get that word. So I want to know, why are there so many different things in this particular book for these folks? Adam, Eve, Abel, Cain, that serpent, the beguiling of the Eve woman. What is it really all about? What's it all about, Alfie? I want to know. So therefore, I started to do my little studying. I looked at some of the attributes of Eve, how hard-headed and cunning she is and was, deceitful, manipulating, and she was also the victim. But she was a very hard-headed chick because she knew what she was supposed to be doing and didn't. And so I'm answering in great detail the question as to why we are right now dealing with some of the sexual indiscretions that we're dealing with. Some of the stuff that's going on in America right now, why are we dealing with it? What does that have to do with the end time? What do those things have to do with what's going on? People want to know that, but they refuse to go back to the beginning. You see, Ronnie. Case in point, E equals Nakash. And for me, I don't know what that means either. Went to the dentist, cavities filled, small ones, 5.5 hour bill, 8:30 till 10:05. The assistant pushing waxing, and it looks like a candy bar. They all got their second dose. They make you hold a giant vacuum hose. I don't know what that means. I don't either. What the F? I don't know why they did that. But I do know that going to the dentist and getting cavities filled is not fun. So I'm going to say hats off to you, my brother, because I already know that don't feel too great. It doesn't feel too grand. But I also want to say, you the man if you can go. You the man if you can go and do that. Yeah, man or woman, you the man or you the woman. Not that you're a man or a woman. What I'm saying is if y'all can go get yourselves 5 small cavities filled in one sitting, that you are the person. So with that said, you guys, part of the study that I'm attempting to do is really going to answer a lot of the questions, because a lot of people are asking right now, why do we have to deal with all of this stuff going on? Why do we have the government now installing people who are not necessarily, what we would consider the status, the norm? Why are we having our girls even have to deal with having competitions between men? Why are we having the young women right now racing against men or boys? Why do we have to deal with any of this stuff that we're dealing with, and where did it come from? And I believe that if we don't get back to before the garden, I always say it here on this channel, if we don't get back before the garden, we'll never know any of these answers. Moreover, if we don't drop our sacred cows and leave them in the barnyard of the past, we'll never know. You're going to have to take all that stuff that you thought you knew and throw that stuff to the side. Because I believe that in order for you to get the answer, in order for you to be equipped to deal with what it is that we got to deal with right now today, you're going to have to throw some of that stuff out. And you're going to have to ask the Father to show you the truth. Because in order for everybody to understand and see exactly where we're headed coming up really soon, you're going to need to have some knowledge. And it's time out for us being the lazy people. It seems like the believers just don't have no good sense no more. We just believe whatever anybody tells us, from the government all the way down, and then we look at each other later when we're facing or being faced with these things that are adversarial in nature, things that go completely against what we believe. They're diametrically opposed to what our Father created us to be. So many of us are sitting here saying, why can't we just live a regular life? Why can't it just be, quote, normal? Why do we even have to talk about a grown rump man going in the bathroom with a little girl? Why do we have to stand here defending why it's wrong? But yet we do. Got to go back. We got to go back. You can't pick this story up in the middle. It's like taking your box of popcorn or your bowl of popcorn and going into the movie theater 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Well, you're really in trouble at the 45-minute mark because you don't know nothing. You don't know near. You don't have no clue, no idea exactly what went on in the movie before you got there. And so that's the reason why I believe we definitely have some work to do. That's why I say we got some work to do, right? So when I looked at all of the questions that I have, and here's where we're headed. We're headed with specific questions. That's all we're doing. Ronnie Mann and I will probably come and give some of the answers, but I have some questions. Here, I'm going to ask you one. First of all, where did Cain learn that his brother should be 86th? Now, we know that there was a conversation when, the gifts were brought. We know there was a conversation. And we know that in that conversation, the father said, hey, I don't accept your gift, but I'll accept your gift. I'll take yours, but I won't take yours. And then he got mad and he's like, okay, well, see, listen, there's really not enough dialogue in the story for us to even know the whole truth. There's a little bit of dialogue and it leaves you wanting, leaves you wondering why. Why is Genesis 4:1 not there? But it does start out at 1, but it's really not 1. It's really 2. There's really 1 that's missing. There's a bunch of chapters that are missing. Oh, go check the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay, if we did that, then would you really know? Would you really know what was good even then? Because we have our mindset geared toward whomever told the story. Okay? And everybody says, oh my goodness, look at this stuff. It's backwards. But where did Baphomet come from? Where did any of these things come from? Why is everything, a binary? Why? Where did it start? How did it come? Where is it attempting to take us back to? These are questions. These are just questions. What really happened in the garden that we now have to have enmity between her seed and your seed? The serpent's seed? Who's the serpent's seed? What is seed? Well, we know what seed is. The serpent got a seed? Why would there be enmity between Eve, seed, and his, Nakash, seed? Why? I'm just asking the question. Why were they, I keep asking, why were they covered from the bottom down? Is that because that's where the infraction was committed? Like I always use the kid in the cookie jars scenario, where you got the kid, the cookie jar, and the mouth full of cookies, and you catch them in the kitchen and they cover their mouth. Or somebody says a bad word and they cover their mouth. So wherever the infraction was, they covered, but they had leaves covering below the waist. Okay, so we got leaves covering below the waist. Why? We want to know that why. If it was a piece of fruit that was eaten, not necessarily apple, but definitely a piece of fruit, right? If it was a piece of fruit that was eaten, then why didn't they cover their mouth with fig leaves? They just covered below the waist. Okay, we got that one. And then the next question is, why would there be enmity between Eve's seed and the seed of Nakash, the serpent? Why? Don't get that. We don't understand that. Has anybody ever told you why? Why is it that one is going to crush the heel and the other going to crush the head and the head and the heel. Why? All of that for a piece of fruit? Really? Huh. Knowledge of good and evil. One of the trees. There was two trees. There was one of them. They ate from that one. But what was it so grave that she not only said it didn't hurt me, didn't nothing happen to me, took it to the husband and said, go ahead on and try it. No, I don't think so. I was told not to. But you do give me a very good question as to why I shouldn't. So you go ahead and you try it. So we got all kinds of questions. I also, like I said before, I want to understand about Cain. There had to be a discussion with Cain and somebody about Abel. Somebody had to hype him up. You ever know the cat that's in the cat that tries to act bad, but he needs somebody else as his hype man? Even the rappers have a hype man, and the hype man gets up and he's like, go ahead on, man. Get on out there. Hey, y'all, raise your hands. Here come our man. Here he come. So who hyped up Cain? There had to be discussion about Abel with Cain because the way he felt about his brother was blatant. It was deliberate. It was intentional. In order for him to have the type of behavior and do what he did, what led him to kill him, he had to have a hype man. Why don't we see a conversation? Somebody is hiding somebody's hand, and they're telling us one direction. They're giving it to you one way. So Genesis 3:15 will be, if you want to read it. I mean, if you even care, you can read that. Okay? If you care, you can read it. But I guarantee you that by studying it and by digging into this right here, you're going to find a lot of what we're dealing with right now if you want to understand why buy, why try, why the buy and the try, why. You guys better get this. Let me tell you why you need to get it. Because there is a huge deception that is walking amongst us right now. And in order for me to help everybody get it, like I'm getting it daily, got to give it to you daily, you're going to need to understand this. You're going to need to take the blinders off on what we have been taught traditionally, throw it in the garbage can, start clean, just you and the Father. Okay, Father, I have these questions. Now, with the Holy Spirit's assistance, please, the Paraclete, the teacher, the Ruach HaKodesh, I need you to teach and show me what's real. I can only give you the information, and then I want you to go and study it and look it up and pray about it, intercede about it, petition about it, however you want to put it. Because what we're about to see is going to blow your stacks. It's going to blow your stack. Yep, it's going to blow your stack. So there were women that the evil cats went and dealt with and slept with, right? Yeah, there were. Why wasn't Eve one of them? I'm just asking a question. We just said that she was definitely, in order for her to go against what her husband said, she had to be cunning. She had to be. She had to be manipulative. She had to be deceitful. She had to, of course, play the victim. So why was none of the women's names mentioned? Why is that? Everybody else is mentioned, but you don't know the women that some of the fallen went into. You don't know. And again, why couldn't Eve have been one of them? Okay, that's just a question. That's just a question. Again, we asked the question, why was there enmity between her seed and his seed? That's weird. That's weird. It's unique. It's odd. So there's a lot packed into that portion. There's a lot packed there. There's a lot. So now let's look at what's going on right now today. Because a lot of people don't understand. They just think that it's just, oh, well, it's just the way that it is. And they just simply want us to be able to allow this to come into the bathroom. And it's a trip because there are a lot more of us who don't agree to it than there are that do. It's a continuous pushing of a narrative to make you feel guilty if you don't agree with X, Y, or Z. There are big old men running around, dressed up like a little girl in sports against women. There are. Yep, Ludwig. His name is Ludwig, Ludwig. He's on a basketball team. Let's see this. Yeah. Yeah. Robert, I believe, is his first name. I could be wrong. I'm gonna look him up. I think that's his name. Yeah, here he is. And see, we actually get out there and start calling people those types of names. Oh, that's what they are. That's who they are. That's just it. Well, I'm gonna get in trouble if I say something wrong. Or if I call that person the wrong thing, I'm gonna get in trouble. Well, I guess I'm gonna get in trouble, dude. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna get in trouble. It's gonna be all right, though. I guarantee you it's gonna be all right. I guess I'll get in trouble. Yeah, because I ain't going for that. You're not gonna make me crazy. You're not gonna make me out to be cuckoo. You're not gonna make me help you legislate mental illness. I ain't going for it. So that on little girls' teams. Yeah. Come on now. Y'all see that? Hot mess. See that? Yeah, that's a hot mess. In San Pablo, California, December 10th, 2012, Gabrielle Ludwig. This was 2012. So now what you think this thing doing? Let's go. San Pablo, California, December 10th, 2012. Gabrielle Ludwig is not like any other woman on the basketball court or in the locker rooms in Santa Clara Community College junior team. Gabrielle is a foot taller than every other player and has significantly more upper body strength. That's because the 50-year-old player was born Robert John Ludwig, a man. He still bears his tattoos from his service in Operation Desert Storm. This turn at college basketball is his second. His first stint in 1980 was as a man at Nassau Community College, and after his sex change operation this summer, he petitioned to change his birth certificate's sex from male to female. That edit allowed his previous sports history to be wiped off his record, and so therefore Ludwig is now eligible to play for 2 full years. Even at twice his opponent's age, Ludwig cuts an imposing figure at 6'8", 220 pounds, a fact that is not lost on his coach or his much smaller opponents. Ludwig's coach at the time was Corey Kefrada, and they told the Mercury News in time the vet will be the most dangerous player in the state. Some of the sports regulators minimize the physical advantage that competing against women gives Ludwig, and Central Valley Conference Commissioner Logan McKinney said that while Ludwig is tall, his state certification as a female is all that matters. He said, quote, "I don't think, frankly, fairness enters into it," he said, end quote. After Commissioner Dale Murray of the Coast Conference believes Ludwig is evenly matched with his competitors. Another commissioner, Dale Murray of the Coast Conference, believes that Ludwig is evenly matched with his competitors and, quote, "just happens to be a bit taller than everyone else," end quote. Others question whether a player with Ludwig's attributes belong in female sports. One of the people Ludwig faced off with against in a recent game, or at that time a recent game, this was 2012. We're way behind the ball here. Pardon the pun. Described his style as real physical. That's his style of playing. Real physical. The issue of transgender athletes sharing showers and locker rooms, changing areas, remain a point of contention wherever the question arises. Parents complained upon learning of a 45-year-old transgender man who still has his male genitalia lounging naked in a woman's sauna. At Evergreen State College in Washington State, the locker room was frequented by girls as young as 6 years old. But homosexual activists at the time claimed that biology does not determine sex, and it should not determine which locker rooms or restrooms people use. In October, we're going back now. I'm going to show them, giving you some foundation, because we just said you needed to go back to the garden, right? Okay, so we got to go back and understand where we are now and who it was that sort of hung out and didn't do anything while all this stuff was happening. Your niece, your daughter, your granddaughter. Okay, come on now. October 2010. The National Center for Lesbian Rights released a series of proposed guidelines for how schools and coaches should deal with transgender athletes. Transgender athletes should be able to use the locker room, shower room, and the toilet facilities in accordance with the student's gender identity, the report said. Transgender people should also be allowed to share hotel rooms with members of the opposite sex, it stated. And transgender students, athletes generally, should be assigned to share hotel rooms based on their gender identity, with a recognition that any student who needs extra privacy should be accommodated whenever possible. So I don't know if you've ever got a lot of rooms. You're going to have a convention and you had to set up the convention. You only get a certain amount of rooms based on what your budget is. So whenever it's possible, little girl, if you don't want to be in there with that 45-year-old man, whenever it's possible, we're going to give you a little extra privacy. But because we only have a certain amount of rooms, little girl, it ain't going to be possible. So the next paragraph says they recommend any employee who refuses to comply with these regulations should be subject to discipline, up to and including discharge or expulsion from the school, end quote. And that failure to implement such policies puts schools, athletic conferences, and sports governing organizations at risk of costly discrimination lawsuits and negative media attention, end quote. Now, the NCAA adopted a standard policy in 2011 stating that a male to female transgender athlete may not compete on a female team until completing one calendar of the documented testosterone suppression treatment. Well, what's going on right now? What did they just decide right now? I wonder what. Let's take a look. Let's just come on back over here. Let's see what's going on in the chat. What are we talking about in the chat? Let's see. And then we're going to go to the next story. So how did we get here, folks of God? How did we get here? We possibly just sat back and snickered. Is that what we did? Did we sit back and snicker a bit? Is that what we did? Did we just sit back and just say, ha ha, hee hee, it's not me, it's not my kid. I don't care. I'm glad I don't have any kids. Yeah, but you do go to the bathroom, right, sister girl? So Awesome Alice, hey, how are you? Have y'all looked at this Equality Act? Yeah, we're going there. Alice. He gave you some hubba hubbas. Welcome to the New Babylon. Awesome Alice, hey, says Black Spring, hey to you. R. Jones says, hi. This topic is deep. Well, yeah, it is. It's needful. But in order for us to get this, we better know what went on in that garden. You better know what went on in that garden. You have my full support, Valiant One says. Sick. Yes, it is. Wickery. That is a frightening thing that the government is having the final say of determining your mental sanity. Hello. Thank you so much for that, Anarchy. Because it's not a woman. That thing ain't no woman, baby. That's a man. Angela Reed, Lord help, this is evil on so many levels. Yes, it is. This is what we're dealing with. What happened to self mutilation being a form of insanity and unhealthy? Well, they changed the medical book. That psych book, I forgot what the name of it is, but they changed that because it used to be the H word was one too. But then all of a sudden, everything when you're talking common sense, I think everybody has the fear that they can't talk real talk. Because if you start to talk real talk and you start to be honest about what's true and what's pure and what's right, then all of a sudden you are an ism. I'm going to tell y'all what I've been saying all along. The purpose for removing all of the statues and the purpose of doing all that stuff has nothing to do with Black folk. It has everything to do with erasing history. Yeah, it does. The civil rights movement was not going to be about us. It ain't. They're going to turn all of us caramel. You got this one marrying with this one. You got that one marrying. I don't care who you lay down with. But I'm just letting you know what the outcome going to be. You can be with a purple and a green. I don't care. I'm just giving you what is real. Everybody going to be caramel. There's going to be one race. I should say one ethnicity. One. That's what I'm trying to say. So what's wrong with one? Okay, well, no, go. You won't. I mean, go ahead. God made us like a bag of Skitlets. What are those Skittles? We look like Skittles. Everybody's got different shades, different colors, and we're all his. So you want to do the opposite, make everybody one. That's what I'm trying to say. You better wake up because it's really seriously a problem. They're going to remove everything we thought the civil rights movement was about. It will be for naught. Once you take all the statues and you rearrange history, just a paragraph at a time, you can make that night at the party anything you want it to be. Because it wasn't nobody but you and your cousin them that was left. Everybody else is gone. You could say that it wasn't a red room, that it was a blue room, or that it was a purple room. But it was a red room. You can say that the party was really held on the Upper East Side, but it was really held down south. You could say that it was a whole lot of stuff because why? You the only one left. So you can say what you want to say. And you made sure that there was no evidence. Yeah. So all this Black power, fight the power, all that garbage, y'all better open up your eyes and put the pieces together, especially those who pack out church houses when the opportunity arises. Yeah. Better look. Yeah. That's it. Black History Month, 28 days. Easy to erase. This is Black History. Yeah, it still is. 26. Okay, so let's get with it. So now, the evil that is being promulgated against mankind, while we're so busy being upset, thinking that, it's really the white man, it's really the Black man, it's really like this human that continues to come into the chat, Dodo, just a dodo. Bless your heart, baby. If you're listening, bless your heart. Okay? In the most southern sweet way I can say. With all this, the white people are the best. And then you got these over here, the black people are the best. And you got over here, wake up. If you have any inclination to the word of the Most High, if you have any inclination, drop your rocks. Everybody, get with it. The assault is against the creation of our Father. That's where the assault is. Big deal about all the other stuff. Get yourselves together. Because what's about to be, you're going to have to try to figure out what you are walking your daughter down the aisle to. Gentlemen, what you walking your great-granddaughter or your granddaughter down the aisle to. Because they're starting very early. Very, very early. Very, very early. They are. So it does affect you. It really does. Because you really don't know who's teaching your children because you're not in tune. So you got to go back. You got to go back before the garden. You have to go back before even obviously 2010. You got to go back to homegirl sitting up there in her quote unquote Calvins. Yeah, you got to go back. beyond that, where everybody kept saying, wow, handsome woman, big hands, big feet, big neck. What a forehead that is. Gee whiz. Is that an Adam's apple? I guess not. I don't want to be rude. Well, you better be rude. You better start calling stuff out. You better stop accepting garbage. You better. Wake up. Wake up. Get up. Get up. It's funny when we see it. It's hilarious when we look at it, but nobody wants to deal with the hard facts and all the questions. So, with all of our studying that we've gotten over the days and years that we have spent, some of us have gone to Bible college, and a lot of us have, spent a whole bunch of money being indoctrinated in other people's studying. Chuck what you've learned, sit down someplace and allow the Holy Spirit to teach you. The word is the word, and it is, and it was, and it will always be. He is now and forevermore the same. He does not change. So get it together, saints. Quit walking around accepting garbage. When you see something is wrong and it's opposite and they're trying to get you to settle for it, stop it. Knock it off. Knock it off. Knock it off. Because I don't see anybody protesting this stuff. No one is protesting it. It's like we're just sitting around watching a movie. Okay. So he 45, he 50, and now he want to be. But this cat didn't even have a change. The other guy that was playing the basketball, he kept all of his tattoos from his naval days when he was out there fighting in wars. Big old man. That's a man. What are you guys doing? Wake up. Stop accepting this stuff. Speak out. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Be bold in the Lord and the power of his might. Be bold in the Lord and in the power of his might. What can they do to your body? Do y'all see what's happening? Grown men in the bathroom with your baby girl? And the schools are slipping it in on us. Whew. I think I better get on off here, y'all. Because I don't know. I think there's a lot to that garden. I think there's a whole lot to that garden. Yeah. I think there's a lot to that garden. And I think that we're going to get a lot of answers if we start to pull back stuff. But the funny thing is it's not going to be stuff that we've read. It'll only come from the Holy Spirit. Okay. All right. It'll only be when we ask our Father to teach us. He's so sweet and so awesome. Do you understand? Get into the book of James. Get into the book of James. Because once you start to study in the book of James, you understand the inner workings of our Father. You know what? Draw near unto him and he going to come right there with you. He is that. Trust and believe he's that. He's not the type that you got to write a letter to and then wait for a response like, 85 years later it comes. And if it does, that's his will. Okay, we get that. But I want to tell you that once you get into the book of James and you really just start to get real close to him, he comes and he sits right there with you. He will teach you. Of course, now you got to remember that we have to try the Spirit by the Spirit. That's a necessity, right? And that the only voice that you're going to follow is his. Why? Because his sheep know his voice. And that's because you've learned how to discern. Obviously, the stuff that we're seeing right now is not of him, right? And I know that a lot of people will call this anti-stuff. I don't care what you say about me. I've been called worse by better. I don't care. No, not when you're actually, let me tell you something. The idea of set up marriages, you know what I mean, are starting to look pretty good. I mean, because if I don't see the baby come out of the booby hatch, you ain't marrying one of my grandsons. If I don't see you come out of the hatch, I don't think so. So we're going to monitor this kid and walk. You came out of the booby hatch and now I see you in middle school and, college. And okay, there you go, kids. party, get married right then. Because I don't know what they're going to have as they get older. What's available? I don't know what's available. They're actually talking about the males having a menstruation. No, that's not. That's a lie from the pit of hell. It's a lie from the pit of hell. Nope, men don't. Nope, men don't. But they're saying that. I'm gonna show you. Yep, that's what they're doing now. Yeah, while we slept and slumbered. While we slept and slumbered, what happened? So it's really amazing. This is really bad. I don't even know which one of these to show you. I just, boy. Okay, here we go. The hard saying. I'm gonna take the L for this one, y'all. So as soon as if I get hit, I'll be the one taking the hit. So I hope if I get hit that it was for reason. Take what I'm talking about and do your thing. Please. Yep. So the question is, can they have menstruation? Of course not. You and I know that. God made only one of us to do that. Unfortunately, it had to be us. But yes, men can have periods. And we need to talk about them. This stupid story, again, we got to stay in the past, was July 12th, 2017. And let's find out their reasoning behind it. Let's find out where they're coming from. So the writer says, I haven't menstruated in 13 years, and I'm fortunate to have been one of the trans guys, which means it used to be something else, whose period stopped when I started taking testosterone. This is by no means a universal experience even among trans people taking testosterone. And many of my peers have either continued menstruating or endless spotting. So now they're talking specifically about a female who has now identified and done something else to this. Okay. All right. That's what they're talking about. But how do you explain that to a little boy? How are any of these things taught? How are you guys taking this into the school systems? Because you guys are. This is 2017. What exactly are you sharing? What information are the kids getting? That's what I want to understand. Okay, so anyway. Recently, the corner of Twitter interested in feminism and gender diversity. And for the feminists out there, let me come over here and look at y'all. Let me tell you guys this. This is what you get because now they have completely erased you. Man. Got to have the feminist. They are blotting you out. You're being blurred, females. You're being blurred. And for every woman who called themselves a Christian, called themselves a believer, called themselves a woman of God, for every one of you dodo birds that stood up and stood on the side of that garbage, what do you do now? Because now they're blurring you out. Your friends are blurring you out. What do you do about that now? Now what do you do? With this weird looking thing where you got a guy who can still he looks like a guy, but it was a girl, but it's now pregnant. This is real. This is the stuff that's going on. So what do you do? How do you handle all of this? Where do you process that? How much of this is all of our responsibility as believers? What do we do now? We begin to speak out and stop being quiet because these other folks, which are really the minority, hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? They're really the minority. There's really less of them. There really are. There's less of them than there are of us. Did you know that? Knock it off. Knock it off. If we begin to speak up, maybe, just maybe, the squeaky wheel will get a little oil. Well, hey, look, they got oil. In this case, the trigger was trending the hashtag, and it looks like it's if men had periods, meant to highlight the ways that sexism plays out around the topic of menstruation. Such, such as such thorough and lack of medical progress or material support is routinely criticized for being both inaccurate and oppressive. Why? For starters, some men do have periods and many women don't. Let me tell y'all something, you idiots. Do you truly and honestly think that is something that you really want? Y'all ain't about this life. All of y'all that want to be the girl, y'all ain't about this life. Let me tell you something. I wish for a moment that there were enough hairs to pull off of your body to simulate how it feels to have birth, to give birth without any medication, as I did 4 times. I wish there was enough simulation to make you feel something the size of a basketball leaving your body, ripping parts of you as it comes out. I wish there were enough body hairs to pull to equate that pain. So this stuff goes beyond funny. It goes beyond, this is an attack. It's an all out attack. And it's how you deal with it when it comes up to you in your face that makes all the difference. Singularly, how we deal with it singularly means all of the difference. Yeah, it does. It really does. It really does. Makes all the difference. How you deal with it one by one, how you stand up to it. I don't really care how people feel. Baby, you're mentally ill. Let me lay hands and pray on. Let me pray for you. Frankly, the word says not to lay hands on no man suddenly, and I really don't know what you're on. I'm not laying hands, but I will definitely send up a prayer for you. That's about that's as much as I'm gonna get because I already see you crazy. There's something wrong there. The elevator does not go to the top, and I'm supposed to be scared. I'm supposed to be scared. I ain't supposed to be. I'm not going. People gonna think I'm this. It's always a schism. It's always a ism. So the body is at fault because we're supposed to be the salt. We're supposed to be shining the light. We are supposed to cry loud and spare not. And y'all know I love you. But it's just time for us to grow up. Go on back there and look and see what happened in the garden. Go on back and find out why they pushing Baphomet. Go on back and find out exactly what's going on. Go on back now. Go on back. Go on back. I've given you the passages. Study Genesis 3, Genesis 3:15. Study that. Understand, what is the enmity? Why is there enmity? What happened there? What was, if it wasn't fruit, and Adam and Eve were both beguiled, because after she got beguiled, she passed it over to her husband. Sounds like a little party going on. And then they were both covered from the waist down. She was beguiled. She took it and told her husband about it. He got a little jump off on it. Then they both went and hid because the knowledge was exposed after they did whatever they did. Follow me, please. And then after they did what they did, they went and covered from the waist down. Generally, when there is an indiscretion, the part that's covered is the area of the indiscretion. Again, these are just statements. But when you know who your enemy is, you understand. Okay? So why was the seed going to have enmity from the woman's seed to the serpent seed? Well, the serpent seed? I'm asking these questions. These are just questions. So let's get some answers. Let's look at these things. Let's ask the Father to show us what's really going on right now. Father, we just need you to supernaturally teach us as we willingly lay down for you to do so. We will just be prostrate before you, asking you to show us what's good. And so at 49 minutes and 59 seconds, we're going to go ahead and get off because it is at the noon. It's afternoon. But We need to ask these questions. I know somebody gonna be upset. And you know what? I get it. Please don't call me, don't text me, don't email me with no BS. I ain't for it. If you got some bull schnozzles, don't bring that over here. Keep your bull schnozzles over there. Don't talk to me about it. Pray about it. Don't talk to me about it. Study it. I'm just asking the questions and I'm looking at the fruit of what's gone on. So let's go ahead and get some shouts out for the next couple of minutes before we leave. Let's go on back over here. Let's see where we are. Furious TV. Hello. Give the love, give the likes, and share if you can. Ronnie says, one Peaches 41. Smiley, smiley. Hey, what's going on? You said, hey, Mandela effect. Oh boy. I don't know what that was. I got to go back and look. An attack on the Western World Family Unit. So much like 1984. Here's the deal. You've got a lot of things that were going on even before here. Ozymandias. And some of those things that were tested out, the pilots of those things were like in the Netherlands. Okay, the nether regions and all that, they were there done first, believe it or not. They are more advanced than we are as it relates to the advancement of what it is they're doing right now. So they tested it out there. Why? What's up with Netherlands? I sent Ronnie a message the other night and I was like, okay, the Netherlands, those people, the neither people, the under, the nether. Oh, got it. Yeah, that's why. There are some things that's creeping and walking around and hanging out with you that you think is human and it ain't. I said it. But if you mad at me, don't get mad. Go back before the garden and test out what I'm saying. Get right in your head. Because if you don't get right now, the stuff that's about to come gonna blow your top. It's gonna blow your lid. If you don't get right now, the stuff that's about to happen, you ain't gonna be able to fathom what's up. And I'm telling you, in the spirit, I have seen some stuff. That's why I'm being the way I'm being. Before I was with y'all, I had a little title that I really didn't even dig. That whole evangelical piece, the part that says, oh, you're going to yell and shout. I don't do all of that yelling and shouting. But what I do know is that if we do not wake one another up, hey, wake up. Smelling salt. You smell that? If I don't do that, then I'm wrong. If I don't do that, then he gonna look at me. And I'm sorry. I like all y'all, but I ain't getting in trouble for you. Let's get it right. Hey, Ronnie from Peaches. Oops, Ronnie, LOL. LOL. Furious TV says, I feel like there is some importance to write down the truth about what is happening and sealing it in a metal box. Lead box in a very secure place or buried somewhere so at least some of it cannot be tampered with. You absolutely right. It can't be erased. You better do it. Better do it. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Then you said you can't be erased. Absolutely. Did you know that Egypt had males that castrated themselves? And at what age were they? Because the younger they do it, the more all of the vocal stays the same. Everything stays pretty much the same. The pitch stays. It doesn't get as deep. It's a lot of stuff. Oh yeah. And see, Egypt got some stuff on it. Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff. Oh yeah. It looks more and more like a work of archiving what this corrupt world has done in this great reset is of some importance to have something to keep, to save as the truth. Absolutely. So more people can maybe discover it long after, sadly. Yeah. But you know, the part about it is it's going to be so much transhuman going on. They already see, they don't woke everybody up. They got to bi. It was cool for all the girls to be bi. It was cool. Oh, I'm bi. Oh, I just like everything. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm trans. Oh, it doesn't matter. I like everything, but I'm trans. Oh, it's okay. And now I got a little bit of robot in me. Yeah, I got some robot in my family playing with the hair, ringlets of the curls of hair. Yeah, I know why you think I look like that because I got a little robot in my family. Anyway, yeah, that part. Absolutely, Angela Reed says. Yep, It sure did, Peaches. It all has to do with sexual immorality. There you go. Everything goes. Yep. We don't apologize for God's word. Amen. Yep. Just like the dark ages when they took the Bible away, and that's coming. So if you ain't written it on the tablets of your heart, the table of your heart, you're going to be in trouble in a minute. Okay, what Mandela did with that little effect thing that they did, and it did happen. A lot of people say, oh, it's just a continuum of time, and this happened and that happened. And so you remember it one way, and somebody else remember it another way. Baby, I know that 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 the lion shall lie down with the lamb, because he is both the lion of the tribe of Judah, and he is the Lamb of God that taketh away all of the sin of this earth. So don't come to me with that. You must have just remembered it a different way. Nah, player, you go on somewhere with all that. We need to wake up. We need to quit placating people. I heard a lady the other day, somebody sent me a video of this chick sitting up talking about craziness. When y'all hear somebody saying stuff that you know ain't in the word, you better check them right then, because that's the stuff that the trans crap is all made up of. Transhuman, trans this, trans religion, by this, all this crazy kooky stuff that ain't our Father. Y'all better check these folks. This lady actually said that there were spare babies in heaven, that she went to heaven. She saw spare babies. So if you didn't have a baby here on this earth, you could go to the corner of heaven and they had a baby corner where they would give you a baby. Now you'd have a baby in heaven. Lady, bye. And people are all in the chat just saying all kinds of, oh, this is so beautiful, you idiot. You are the stuff that the delusional are made up of. Let it go. Lots of other stuff is going along with that delusion stuff right now. When y'all hear your friends talking that stuff about who coming back on this day and who going to do this on that day, because we need him, we need this person to come back, they're putting that cat in the place of a God. And it's that exact same mindset that you will be led over. You will just be done with. You'll just be right out, just gone. You'll be looking up in the sky for something that's not coming that direction. And so right now, we really need to get into the word, and we really need to understand and study what is and what is not our Father. We really do. And there has to be some personal time put in. I had to show my friend that community immunity video. I said, I sent you the upside down cross on the white shirt. I said, pay attention, friend, the trap has been set. I had to go back and look at that again. If you send it to me, probably you did. I get a lot of stuff, but I'm going to have to double check it. But thank you for that. Anarchy Television. Yes. What are you afraid of? One way or another, they're coming for you. Okay. So you may as well go down with a blaze of glory. That's how I say. Each of the fallen ones from that fell on the mountain had a particular area of deplorable things to teach humanity. Absolutely. All the way back to Atlantis to be real. Yeah. Yep. Don't go. It must have been a minute ago when I said we're about to go, because we're about to go in a few seconds. So I'm sure he wants me to go now. Probably a lot of people would like for me to just not come back on for a minute. I don't like how she said it. I don't like what she said. It's just, to me, it's to be honest with you. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I just don't like how she said it. Well, God bless you, boo-boo. You weren't given the mantle to do this stuff. It's not easy either. I tell you right now, it's not a nice thing, but it's what has to be done. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's good. We're all good. Maynard L says, I've got enough sins of my own to answer for. It will be a cold day in hell before I condone the evil sins of someone else. Okay. Will people wait for their back to be on the wall before reacting? Probably. And the sad part is that, we've been so desensitized now that none of us really know how to even do real battle. And that's the bad part. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, and you get stronger by praying and talking to the Father in your heavenly language. And if you don't know what that is, or you do know what that is, and you've been sort of, laying back in the cut, not doing it, then I'm going to recommend that you get with it. Get with it. And don't be asking a lot of questions of other people who don't know, who lazy, who don't want to do what's right. You better pray in your prayer language right now, because right now, to yourself in your prayer closet with your Father, that's the only thing that's really going to be uninterrupted, apparently. So see, while they sneaking up trying to know everything and trying to use everything to learn everything, you're sitting up here trying to be like, no, this person said don't speak in tongues. This person said speak in tongues. This person said I need to do it like this. This person said I need to do. Let me tell you something. If you ever had the gift and it is upon you, you better use it right now. I'm gonna leave that right there. Okay. All righty. All right. All right. All right. Yep. 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 It's not a Awesome Alice, you bad. I'm gonna leave you alone. Oh no, it's so gross. Okay. A lot of stuff is. Oh my God. Almost want to puke. Yep. Stuff that the stuff that they're doing, the stuff that they're bringing up, stuff that they're making up. Okay. The stuff that they're making up, the stuff that they're telling you that's real, the stuff that they're telling you that's, that's right. And if you don't believe in it, then you're wrong. Oh, well, baby, come on with it. I don't care. I don't care. Wah, 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 wah. That's all I got to say. Wah, wah, wah. If you upset about it, why are you upset about it? Let's talk about that part, right? Let's talk about why you're upset. I wonder. Listen here, everybody in their family, at least one person in this, we all have people in our families who have either been homosexual or are homosexual, who have been, into some bad stuff or not into some bad stuff. It's no bearing on you as a person, none whatsoever. But please do not misconstrue loving that person with loving the sin they're in. Please don't get those two twisted, because if you get that twisted, then you're going to be the person sitting back being quiet. That's what the problem is. There, I said it. Y'all good now? We got it? I think we got it now. See what it says, he who has an ear, let him hear. And thanks so much, Rachel, for sharing. And Rachel says, I have a picture of the cross too, send it to, okay, perfect. Good, Rachel. I'm glad to see that you guys are hanging out with Black Spring as well and emailing her and sending her info too as well. That's important. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Is it understood that the serpent impregnated Eve? Am I misunderstanding? That's why I said for you to pray. That's why I said for you to study it. And that's why I want you guys to come up with what the Father shows you. And the reason why I say that is because when he shows you and teaches you something that only he can teach you or give you, then you know that you know that you know. You only get holy boldness in what you study. You only get holy boldness in what he teaches you separate of man. Now, man can share with you and take you and lead you to certain things, but you and I both know that man has been flawed for quite some time. And we, as leaders in the ministry, can make mistakes. Okay? When I was actually in active ministry, people made mistakes all the time. Now, whether or not they made amends for them or another is of no consequence, because there's a lot of people who do, some people who don't. I happen to be very afraid of God. All right. So when I say study it for yourself, because once something becomes rhema down into your spirit, then no one can take that away. Absolutely no one can take that away. And so that's why I want you to understand, take those scriptures. So again, it's going to be, let me just pull them up here for you, because I was studying before I got on here with everybody. So we've got, here we go. This is what we put out. So this is Genesis 3:15. So that's the NASB lexicon. So you've got Hebrew, Strong's, Origin, and everything there. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise you on the head, or your head, and you shall bruise him on the heel. Why is the question. And when you pray and you study and you ask the Father to tell you, to teach you, all right, we're not going to get stuck in the weeds on what to call anything. When you begin to study and you talk to your Father in heaven and you share with him that you want him to teach you all truths, and he will do it, then you can begin to understand and answer some of this. Because the question that I posed was, why does Genesis 3:15 not deal with Adam, red in the face and the serpent, who wasn't a serpent in the original. He was on his belly afterward. So why? Why was there enmity? That's just a question. It should have been between, the two cats, right? Should have been between the two dudes. Unless, of course, we're just looking at the fact that, he approached her first. And of course, all smarmy salesmen will go to the woman first. Hey, ma'am, I got that new rainbow for you. Got that new rainbow vacuum cleaner. For only $4,500, you could have a vacuum today. Yeah. So that's the passage here. Making sure that you guys see it. Yeah. So that's this right here. So, study that out. And then the next one, I'll take you to the next one. Well, R. Jones, I think, and I don't know if Ronnie Man is still here. He may not be here, may be gone already, but he did put into he did put in the chat earlier what the serpent equaled. I think it was Nakash, and I would have to look that up myself. So yeah. So let's go on and get another one here. Let's get one more, two more. So we're going to look at also, I want you guys to write the other one down. So the next one that you can write down is Genesis 4. I had Genesis 4:7. And Genesis 4. So Genesis 4:4, and Abel also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and his offering and to his offering. So you've got that. So you can just study out the chapter 4 of Genesis. Okay. And let's see, just to write down, if you just want to write it down, but let me give it to you anyway. I wonder why we can't just take it and look in this thing and just pop in what I want versus having to close it out and go all over again. I guess maybe they haven't thought about that yet. Okay, so Genesis 5 breaks down all of the generations of Adam. Okay, and there was a reason for that. Okay. So you can study that out. And then you're going to need to study with more than just the Bible. Okay, you're going to have to study with more than just the Bible. Now, of course, over the years, we've all amassed books. Okay, but you can't just necessarily say that one book was the one that did it, other than the Word, right? Other than the Bible. One of my good friends the other day asked, well, what do you study with? Normally, the Father shows me what he wants me to know. Over these last few, especially this last year, he will drop stuff in my spirit as he does with you as well. I'm nobody special. He does the same thing for you. I know. Right. And so for me, there are, I have different types of Bibles I do study with. Of course, I have a book of Enoch. I have one of those and I go through there and I have I have all kinds of stuff. But you're going to want to get something other than just the Bible to study these things out, because you're going to want to get a Strong's Concordance. You're going to want to do, a Bible dictionary. You're also going to want to keep into account that there have been some changes. All right. And so you're going to have to rightly divide the word of truth once it comes into your eyesight. You're going to have to rightly divide it. You're going to have to do that, right? Everything should always be studied in context of the time and the season, the people who were doing the talking, and their origin, which means one scripture could take you a week, you know what I mean, for you to really break it down if it's like a lengthy one, So it's like you'll have to really study those things out, but it's worth it, because once that knowledge comes into your bosom and it belongs to you, no one can take that away. That was something you studied on your own. The Father showed you what was going on. And that's that. Now, churches call it heresy, but I'm open-minded and will pray about it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you got to understand, why would they want to call it heresy? If there's some truth to it, is it because it didn't fit with a neat little package and a little bow? Probably. So I'm willing to challenge all things taught in churches. I think right now we really need to know what's up, because what's about to come around is really creepy, right? That's why we need to know what's up. because what's about to come around is really unique. And if we think that it's all sterile, like they're trying to teach us that it's sterile, or they've tried to teach us that it's sterile, it's not. It's not. Where's Mars Fool's Gold? I just clicked Mars Fool's Gold statement and didn't even say hi. Hi, Mars Fool's Gold. Abel and Cain were twins. Abel had pure DNA, and Cain's had the serpent DNA. Serpent Nakash, practitioner of divination, user of enchantment. Now, where did the user of the enchantment come from? A lot of people want to say, well, if they were twins, they had to come from the same daddy. Not true. Fraternal brothers are born in the same body, but not in the same sack, not in the same bag. A woman can have sex with her boyfriend in the morning and her husband at night. Each one of them can go on ahead and fertilize an egg. There'll be two bags. There'll be two sons, or a son and a daughter. One could be white, the other one could be black, coming out the same mama at the exact same time, on the exact same table, on the exact same same hour. Do your math. So who were the practicers of enchantments, divination? The practicer or the practitioner of divination. If you remember that there were some who taught women the cutting of roots, there were some who taught them how to write, when in the beginning it was not so, that we should not put pen, that we should not put quill, that we should not write, that we should not use words, spells to communicate. We should not write out to communicate. Okay? There were some that did each thing, and it came from the ones that laid down with the woman, the daughter that was here on the earth. They saw them. They said they were beautiful. They were gorgeous. They had to have her. I got to have that woman. And so they came down and they slept with the women. They knew them. They dropped their seed. And what was in their seed, their trait, went into that woman and went into that baby. Their likeness was now inside of her womb. Okay. Look like we're getting somewhere. Okay. Looks like we're getting somewhere. Okay, Ronnie, thank you. Thank you, Ronnie. Mars Fool Gold, true. Twins can have different fathers. Yes, they can. That's right. Demon and is that Dejin or Dejao? Dejin are the same, are one and the same. Okay. Thank you, Ronnie. One Peaches 41. When inverted in the womb, twins kick each other. Bruise heel. What? One bruises the heel, one the other's head. So do we all have some of that in us? Let's hope not. At Mars Fool's Gold, you have been studying. Interesting question, R. Jones. R. Jones, probably by now we all do, which is why we have to be born again in the spirit by fire. Okay. Mars Fool Gold at 1 Peaches 41. Thank you. You guys, we're at an hour and 14 minutes into this afternoon. I'm glad for those of us who were here, we were all here together. Thank you so very much for coming. I so appreciate you all for kicking it with me on this Friday afternoon, February the 26th, 2021. Lots of things are changing. Lots of things are going on and a lot of stuff's being accepted. But if we are holding fast to our confession of faith and we are doing what the Father tells us to do and living the way that he wants us to live and remembering, there was something else that I had. The Father showed me last night. I was talking about the children being and I was like, well, I know that the children are a weapon. So if a man with his quiver full is yet wise, why would that one be one of the arrows? Why would why would he want to tamper with that cat being one of the arrows? Because he was a bad arrow. Where did he get that trait from? Oh, looks like we're answering our own question, you guys. So I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you, Ronnie Mann, Rachel Van Ziel, One Peaches 41, R. Jones, Mars Fool's Gold. I appreciate you all. And let's see who else we got coming on up here. I think we said R. Jones, but I'll say it again just in case. And everybody who is watching that has not put anything in the chat, hi, how are you? God bless you. Steve Willis, the man with the plan. What you talking about, Willis? How you doing? Black Spring with Autumn. Black Spring with Autumn. Thank you so much. Valiant One, you were here, one of the OGs this afternoon. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you being here bright and early. Ronnie Man, my brother, as usual. God send. I thank him for you all the time. Thank you. Awesome Alice. Hey, glad you're here. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, Furious TV, you was busy in the house earlier, so you probably had to leave, so don't want to forget you. Angela Reed, like the thumbnail, I always say that to you. Hey, I already said to my R. Jones, hey, Tina Hardman, if you're gone and you see this on the replay, hey, sis. All right, I think we're good. Maynard, I already gave you your shout out, but it's always good to see you. Always good to say your name. All right, folks, looks like that's pretty much it. I see only us that said things over and over again. Oh, Dan Keen. As a rapid cycling transgender, she goes from boy to girl and back and forth hourly. Now, what? Okay. All right. Don't know, but all right. Okay. And for all of my mods, I want you guys to make sure that you are on your gig, because we got somebody who's sort of like going from, he goes and changes his name every chance he gets. And I just call it out. Dennis Conrad, how are you? It's so good to see you. How are you? Brian Walsh, how are you? Good afternoon. It's good to see you and Dennis. I'm so glad you guys stopped in. And so for the mods, there is a cat that goes around, and he was hilarious in the chat, but I've had to block him from several different lives. And not even, well, he's been in some of the lives, but he's also been in some of the print stuff. So some of the chat that we have, he's like coming in with different names. It's like amazing. He even came on this morning with some Chinese written down, saying he was from some Chinese something army. And it's the same guy all the time. And you know that you hear. I mean, you probably are watching now in the cut. And so I'm just going to say, Hank, knock it off. Stop it. You can come on and play in some of the reindeer games. You see we're benign over here. And I know your persuasion. I know what you're all about. And it's all good. You ain't got to come and have no mess. Because I think it was Sandy Aaron said to him, I think it was in Rachel Van Ziel. But you know, it was funny. I think it was Sandy Aaron, and Sandy said, hey, aren't you the Hank that Roy Potter kicked out of his chat the other day? Then she said, me think so. I hit the floor laughing. So we already know it's you, dude. Come on. Ain't nobody you ain't got to be afraid of any of us over here. If you want to hang out, come on, step to us and be legit. But stay out of the comments with all of that stuff, man. Don't do that. That's not nice, okay? We don't mind you hanging out. You can come on and hang out, but you need to come correct, all right? And so for the mods, if you guys see any foolishness in the chat, don't even think about it. Just excommunicate people. I don't have time for people coming in while we're talking serious stuff and start acting crazy. Because some of the stuff that he was saying the other week, Peaches 141 said, Peaches 141 said, are you serious right now? I looked back at the chat. Peaches 41 said, are you serious right now? So that had me howling. So nonetheless, oh, you say I'm not getting my notifications. I'll try resubscribing and clicking on it. Hank Hill. Okay. All right. Yes, Rachel, because he been over here cutting up, and I'm like, hey, it's all good. It's all good. I understand, but dude, we do not have time. So if you really truly are, a child of the Most High, or you affiliate yourself with God in any capacity, we already understand your mindset. It's all good, but you can't come over here keeping up a ruckus. These people with the blue wrenches in this chat will jack you up in a corner. You will not be able to make any comments here because it's just not nice. It's just not nice. Anyway, you guys, we're at 1 hour, 20 minutes in. Loving even each and every one of you guys. Hank the Cray. Love you guys. Y'all take care and take care of one of each other. And remember, one another. And remember what we always say. Gee whiz, I'm trying to get y'all out of here so fast. I'm forgetting. But remember what we always say here on the channel, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every single word that proceeds out of the mouth of God, the Most High, the one and only. You guys take care. We'll see you soon. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you.